Hey guys, this is Sergio Michel, and you're watching Fustercluck.
Mr. Sergio Michel. The first time I saw Sergio was at Stanhope House in what part of New Jersey?
Stanhope, New Jersey.
Stanhope, New Jersey. Yeah,
Exit 25.
Exit 20. And he was opening for Soulfly, Toxicology, and this dude really rocked, man. He just first he looks like a model. He comes out right, so all like works out and everything. He comes out, his hair's all done. And then just takes that guitar, which we're gonna talk about, and just totally does it, man. But I've been following Sergio ever since then. And
So you're a stalker?
I'm a stalker.
Okay.
And you know what? We're not gonna get into it on this show, but he stands up for what he believes in and he doesn't back down.
Good.
Okay.
We like that. We need more of that.
We need more of that in this world. So there he is. So, man, what are you up to, Sergio?
Hey guys, having a good time here on the Fustercluck show so far, and riding the success wave of my new album, Tropical Depression. Doing really good. It's gotten really good press, and people are still talking about it. I got a few videos coming up, and kind of the pandemic was the day the Soulfly tour ended is the day the pandemic started. So the whole industry's on pause, everybody's canceling, but I came out with the album right in the middle of it, so it's kind of almost extended its shelf life, which is good. So I'm just taking my time with the videos and everything. And once things clear up a bit, I'm gonna go back on tour, go back to my native New Jersey, New York, and go rock out.
Good, very good. I like that title. It's a great title.
Yeah, Tropical Depression.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a play on words. It's kind of I think it's a necessary commentary on today's climate with people having unrealistic expectations, and there's a lot of jealousy out there, there's a lot of anger out there, misdirected on the internet. People just get angry at whatever somebody posts. And I think I took it's like a satirical concept album, and the whole theme is the ridiculousness of modern internet culture. That's what it is. You won't notice it on first listen, but if you really go into the lyrics, it's about Instagram and stuff like that.
Right.
Very cool, very cool. And I tell you, I've been listening to Tropical Depression. The tones that you got on that album, amazing. Would you say that's your live sound?
Yeah, I have one foot in to the gearhead. It's going to be Class A. Electronics. I like old tube. My favorite tube set is a 12AX7 5U4G rectifier 6L6 with a vintage 30. Right. That's what makes the sound. That's the American sound. But I've learned to live in the digital world too. Right. So I could kind of get that sound out of anything. So what I did was I mixed various guitars with different pickups. And I like a really big, massive sound. It's like the Jersey sound. It's Doyle. Even Tony Iommi, when he went out to work with Dio, he picked up that big American sound. It just sounds like a wall of sound. Right. That's my thing. But I'm also an Eddie / Ingrid fan guy. So it's good enough where it still cuts if I play lead. So I don't toggle between channels between rhythm and lead. It's just one sound. Right. And I figure out how to get good things out of both of them. But yeah, that is my sound. That's what I'm going for. Big. It's like, I play with the 3-piece live. I want the guitar to just fill the whole room. And I put the melody and all the hard work in the bass and the drums. And the guitar is just more spatial.
Right.
Very cool. You said you're from Newark, New Jersey?
Yeah, I was born in Hoboken. I grew up in West New York, went to school in Paramus. So yeah, I'm from Newark.
Yeah, 'cause I grew up right across the river in Kearney.
Oh, great, yeah. Basically Newark, yeah.
Yep.
I grew up in across the river in New York.
Oh, right across the other
Long
river.
Island, Long
The
Island.
other side, the other river.
We're all across the
Big
river. So I tell you what, when you're talking about your gear, which, you know, all us guys, musicians can get crazy and really get into your gear. Then you got the rock star shirt and hair for the girls. You got it all covered, man. And Franco.
Yeah, you know, I set out to be an entertainer, but solid. So I wasn't happy with just, you know, just making noise or you know, just doing the scene thing. It's like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it like high level. Like, okay, who's cool? Kip Winger, you know, Ingve, Eddie. You know, there were more dimensions to their game. It wasn't just, you know, here I can play very well.
Right.
There was like a showman aspect. So, you know, I'm from Hoboken too. You know, you got those Sinatra type people that come from that part of New Jersey. For some reason, everybody that comes from there's a mensch. You know, everybody has a, hey, you know, we're very personality driven. So I said, you know, that's one of my strengths, you know, to be funny and, you know, put out some bombastic image. So I said, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use 100% of everything I got.
You have
put
to.
it out there and hope people like it. And they do. They get it.
People are drawn to that. People like that kind of. They don't want to just see I think you just stand there just playing. They might as well play a jukebox.
Yeah, you know, I think I'm sticking out in my time, in my generation, because everybody's racing down, I think. They're racing down to be the most average, most accepted, most, you know, acceptable, non-offensive version of themselves as far as musicians go. I'm like, no, the total opposite. I mean, those monsters in the 80s, 70s, 60s, I mean, those people, it was a one-man band could, you know, wow you.
Right.
You know, three-piece would you'd be like, wow, that's what I want to do. So if everyone else wants to be, you know, kind of the status quo, I'm the total opposite. I want to stick out right now. You know, there's a lot of people who like what I do. I like what I do, and I like people that do what I do. That's why when I go see a band, I don't care if it's minimalist or if it's like Kiss. Or if the guys look normal, wherever it is, there has to be an X factor that makes me say, wow, I've never seen this. This is amazing. I want to talk about it tomorrow.
Right.
And that's what I go out to do. That's simple equation with me. Just I
agree.
I want people to say, wow, that guy was cool.
People want to be entertained.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. You know, they don't want to just hear music. They want to be entertained, enjoy the music, and be entertained. They want to see a show. You know.
Absolutely. Well, I was looking at your guitars, and you favor the V shape, but they're not Gibsons. Do you have a special brand?
Are they custom?
I couldn't see the headstocks.
Yeah, so that Flying V I have two. I have a V bass and a V guitar. They're signature, right? Mm-hmm. They're based on the 2016 Gibson Pro V. They're better wood, better hardware, better pickups, and they cost on retail, if you want to buy one, it's $300 from a company called Indian Vina.
Wow.
Which is basically ESP in Indonesia and China.
Oh, wow.
So they're relabeled. It's basically an ESP. That's what it is.
That's a great price.
I did see the PV on the headstock, but I thought that was for Paul Veneer.
Hey.
That's my own company. I just started.
You should charge more, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's identical specs, except the headstock, you know, due to copyright, you can't use it. But, you know, that particular guitar from Gibson is $1,600 to $2,000.
Right.
And mine is $300, and everything is better. It's from the same lathes, it's from the same factory.
Right.
They do ESP, they do Gibson, they do whole other companies, but because of their government in Vietnam where they build them, there's loopholes where you can get those guitars with a different headstock, and you can get a $3,000 Fender American Performer, blah, 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 for like $500 if you get them to make it.
I always wanted a Fender V.
Yeah, they had one.
They do? I don't even know about it.
In the 50s or the 60s, they made like an offset, the Katana, the Fender Katana in 1980, look it up. Fender Japan made a one-armed V. It's almost like a Kelly or a Jackson, no, sorry, it's a Rhodes V without the bottom horn.
Wow.
Yeah, so look that up.
We gotta talk to Rick Nielsen, he probably has one.
And then my other guitars, I have 3 Strats, 3 Fender big headstock Strats. I like those.
Very cool.
PV stands for pretty valuable.
Pretty valuable,
I
yeah.
have a question. When you listen to Abysmal, when your Tropical Depression opens, the first song, Well, it's like when I put on a VHS tape, like Vestron Video, that kind of horror sound, that synthesis. What is that exactly? How did you do that sound? Yeah, how did you do that?
That is a bass. That's just a bass through a flanger and a phaser. That's all it is.
That sounds great, man.
But it sounds like, but you see, you get what I'm going for. I was going for that like 1980s type, popping a VHS, put in the 8-track, and it's modern music, but it's more for the sensibility of people that like older music. Because the thing is, today I follow all the big labels, all the little labels, the rock labels on the internet, and everything I see is just the same style with a different face. It's just like, how can we be less offensive? How can we, get as many likes as we want? And I'm like, no, forget the likes. How can you blow people away live? Keep your likes, keep your followers. The reaction Franco had, that's great. That's a great compliment. He's like, wow, I saw this guy live and I like it. There you go. That's what I'm going for. That's all. Yeah.
Then he said, what town am I in? Stanhope? Where's that?
Stanhope, New Jersey.
Hey, did you have any interaction with Soulfly, or were they like distant, like even though you were on the same tour with them? Did they interact with you at all?
Well, I had a lot of interaction with the bass player.
Okay.
You remember, Max's son was cool. Rizzo I knew from back in the day in Union City in New Jersey when everyone was kids. He was first in El Nino, and I was friends with those guys. But I haven't been in contact with him much since those days. I saw him on the tour, pleasantries and stuff like that. But yeah, when you're on a tour like that, everybody is so busy that everybody's off to the next city. So you don't really have time to hang out with people. Like, you talk to people between sets or sound check, but there's no like party hanging out. It's like everybody's like on the clock and, oh man, we gotta get there by 4 a.m. or something.
Yeah,
so that's how we were. We would play, hang out, meet some people, talk to some people. Okay, nothing else to do. Get in the car, drive to the next hotel. That, at least us.
Right. You mentioned being a fan of Yngwie. Have you played with a show with Yngwie yet?
No, I almost did. My manager was his manager. Okay. At one point, we had the same manager. And his manager, well, my former manager now, she was the sister, his sister-in-law, right? So it's April's sister. And then his luthier in Fort Lauderdale, who does all the scallops, or back in the day, was a friend of mine. And I used to hang out with him maybe 2 or 3 times a month when he'd come by to see his guitars. So I've known those guys. I've known Goran Edman, his singer. Joe Lennon Turner was like a mentor to me in Jersey. Like, I used to hang out with him all the time. We did first songwriting gig I had with a big artist was with him. And yeah, Bjorn Englund was on the tour. Franco, Yngwie's bassist, was with us on the Soulfly tour as well. So yeah, good relationship with that camp.
So it sounds like you will. Yeah.
Eventually, hopefully.
I'm in a band called Ripped, and I played with Yngwie. The thing with Yngwie is, we couldn't get him off the stage at sound check. We couldn't even get our gear on stage. The doors are opening in an hour, and Yngwie is still. And I think his sound check was as good as his show, if not better, because he was just being himself.
He does that. I remember my first time meeting him was in Direct. You remember Stingray's Birchill?
Yeah.
Back in the day in Oak Ridge, well, I had a little college radio show, and back in the day with Morances, still around, a little black box with a microphone. I used to interview everybody, Spike Rockets, local Jersey people, national acts, Yngwie. So I used to go to all these shows, and I went to interview Yngwie, and I couldn't because his sound check was so long, and then he was unpleased with it, and he just walked off. I think he walked out of the venue, and they had to talk him back in to come in and play.
What you need to do is bring him a box of donuts.
Laura,
He likes
Oh, no. Unleash the fury on that one. That was the setup, Bill. Shame on Diamond and Bill. They should... Come on, man.
Hey, listen, man, where can people find your music and information on you? Because we all need to check you out.
All right, cool. Thanks for that, man. Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube are all Sergio Michel Music, and SERGIO MICHEL Music. And then Spotify, Apple, everywhere music is, Vivo, YouTube.
Good,
Yeah.
very good.
Because like Franco found you at a Soulfly concert by showing up early. And I think that's a very important thing in our business. people want to know when their friend's band is playing or their favorite band is playing. Get there early, stay late, support all the acts. You never know who you're going to find and what you're going to enjoy.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
you know, you gotta.
Especially on a package tour that we had.
Yeah.
I used to do that all the time. I mean, my place was CB's, Kenny's Castaways, and Stingrays. And if the concert was at 10, like whoever was the Misfits at 10 p.m. or 11, I was there at 6.
Right.
I mean, I wanted to see the locals because I was very interested in who the guitar slingers were, who the great
Right.
drummers were, you know, what great bassist there is lying around town, you know. And people should get there early because you never know who you're going to see and what you're going to like.
You're right, and that's what we want to get the message out about.
Plus, you don't want to have the place run out of pizza before you get to the stand.
Yeah, you want pizza.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it has to be North Jersey pizza.
That's right, exactly right.
Water matters.
Absolutely. Hey man, is there anything that we missed? Anything you want to throw in? Tell us,
Yeah.
because this is your segment.
Well, forever hold your peace.
Well, basically right now I'm focusing on getting my team together for the next leg, I guess, of 2020. I did a one-off when the album came out, when Tropical Depression came out. I did a one-off in Palm Beach. Big concert hall, is pretty cool. I had a guest drummer from, I don't know if you guys remember New York Fury from back in the day. Those guys used to play at Coney Island and all that. The drummer Ron Hunter, which is a great friend, good guy, lives down here now, and he came in subbed. I almost got Patrick Johansson to work on some recordings with me and live. He lives down the street, so I'm going to get him eventually. And then Tropical Depression was done. The drummer was Rob Tucker, who is the drummer for Jason Newsted's Chop House band.
All right.
And we actually got to use Jason Newsted's double kick drum pedal for the recording. So everything you hear on my album was done with Jason's personal pedal.
That's why MP3s are no good. You got to put that on the album cover where people can read it. Drums,
I'm calling you now.
gadget by you know.
Absolutely.
You know, all that stuff's
I feel
important to
like,
gearheads.
Dude, I'm a fan of music, a real fan, and that I remember back in the day. I used to go to a music store called Pastori Music in Union City.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them. But they had all the Ibanez and all the Fender catalogs, and back then they put a lot of info in it, like who this guy is and what's his endorsement. I knew almost every band, every member before I ever even heard the music.
Yeah, we used to read the notes. That's why.
Exactly.
We knew who engineered it, who mastered it, which was always George Marino.
So Sergio Michel music.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants to look at.
When you mentioned Rob Hunter, that's what you said, right?
Ron Hunter.
So that wasn't from Raven. Okay.
No.
Oh, okay. I had a flashback. But listen, Sergio, it's been a pleasure talking to you. And
guys.
we'll get the word out. And we're going to get you in here, okay?
Thank you so much, man.
Hey, man, we'll talk to you soon.
Best of luck, man. Best of luck.
Here with the Mad Dabbers. What's a dabber?
You take rips of wax, write music.
I like that. This is Dave Nichols, right? Nichols. And who's the rest of the guys?
Back here we got Shorty Rubber Dub, bass player. Then we got Slapstick Master, percussionist. And then we got the Ganja Farmer, Pat, on the guitar. And then our drummer is showing up now, late, like always.
The drummer is late. Why is that?
Dropping deuces.
All right. So, Mad Dabbers, welcome to Fustercluck. Where you guys hail from?
We hail from the first state, the state that invented states. We're from Delaware.
I like that. So we can find your music on Spotify. We were talking before. YouTube, you must be on there.
Yep.
And what is it, Mad Dabbers Band on Facebook?
Yes. Facebook and I believe Instagram as well.
That's cool. All right. Well, I hope you guys have subscribed to our YouTube, Fustercluck Show, and we're on fustercluckshow.com, and that's for you at home too. Join us.
Live from Bulletproof Music Studios in Hazlet, New Jersey, on the Fustercluck Show, straight from Delaware, Mad Dabbers!
What's going on with the Mad Dabbers from the first state? This song's called Never Look Back.
never had the words to say. Should've thought of someone else rather than yourself for just one day. Never looking back, never looking back down. Never looking back, never looking back down. Looking back, never looking back down. Have you found the words to say? Have you ever been out of your haze? Have you ever found time and place to play another one of your games? So I'll just pick my feet up and keep on moving. It's the same old song but with new tuning. I feel so down, man, I feel so ruined. Still in awe, what's not proven. Never looking back, never looking back down. Never looking back, never looking back down. Never looking back, never looking back down. Never looking back down. Is it all because you changed? Break laws became deranged. Have you paved the roads in which we cross? This life's just a cost. Pick up the pieces, I'll just push through them. Which can be done, but you're gonna need a new one. And that one you see is not me, 'cause the one you see is moved on. I moved on, I moved on. Never looking back, never looking back down. Never looking back, never looking back down. Never looking back, never looking back down. Never looking back down. Never looking back down. Never looking back down. Never looking back down.
Thank you. This next one's called Messing with the Devil.
This is for
trying to have you having me control. If it's like that, take it as me. You're being so bold. Fight another, let me hold in one with the motherfucker. I was like Royal Rumble before I cuddle with cheese. Wet spots, ass deep, puddles of pure satisfaction with the bundle. I bust once, free for months through. It's not that you want me, my dick wants you. I'm not trying to front you, but I will hit it from the front too. When you clap your ass out, boom like an 808, make you clap now. Bitch, you so sassy, you want me to get strapped down. Got the route till you go mapped out. Some sexually stimulate, makes you pass out. With the devil. She not there, she got the hots for me. I'm messing with the devil. She not there, she got the hots for me.
Been wailing on these things, gotta tune them up a little bit. This was called All Night.
Just about another bottle. Shouldn't really long as night. We live our life full throttle. Find it hard to take good advice. What is wrong with the way that I'm feeling? Everything is feeling alright. Got the liquor and the music is sweet. Yeah, I got that kush stuffed up in the pie. Smoking, cooking, relaxing, and choking. So high, my brain is wide open. Yeah, open, my conscience is spoken. Wide open, and we know at a party. Yeah, we know how to do it right. Work hard, I'll lead with the weekend. With the weekend in our side. Roll a train and pass a number. Hold your own, lay some lumber. Do it all tonight. Do it all tonight. Just the bottom of the baggie.
this one up. Too many words in this one to remember.
I think it's way too long of a song.
This song is
This one's called Way Too Long.
Welcome to Act 1 of my lifelong play. When strife is coming, summer's gonna here I stay. Keep planted in the sand, we can't lead me astray. I know I seem foolish when I walk away. And for this dream bullshit, your love has started to decay. It became a nuisance to you quick. It's not okay, okay, I'm not okay. Okay, I'm not okay. Tried to hold you, but I felt your grip break. The hate that you have was so strong, it vibrates. The tunes that indicate the time it took for me to realize that you're worth the time it takes. I tried to hold you, but by that time it was too late. I was too late, it was too late. Hold on to you, but I've waited way too long. I'm trying to hold on to you, but I've waited way too long, way too long. Now comes the outcome of that too. All because I didn't give it back to you. I'm a passive dude, but the last thing I want to do is pass on you. Guess I'm really asking if you'll pass on through. Let's chit chat for about an hour or two and stitch your tracks back and forth. Things went south with you. I know I burned everything I touched. I never meant to ash on you, and I never meant to press the gas on you. Try to hold you, but I felt the grip that the hate is in your eyes burns holes so through my pride, through my mind's eye, seeing you right by my side. It's something that I cannot describe. Trying to hold on to you, but I've waited.
this one. There, up there. This one's called Wet Behind the Ears.
Sure.
was a song that I wrote about the passing of my mother and my sister. And it's just about the way I've felt since.
Can't believe you're gone. All I can
One more.
Okay. This one's called Election.
man. Ganja cowboy Pat on the guitar. Over on the percussion, you got your man Slapstick Master. Over here in the bass, you got your man Shorty Rubber Dub. Back here on the drums, you got your man Jorge Mota. Davion Nickelback. It's been our pleasure. We're the Mad Dabbers. It's good to get to know you guys.